2,000 years before the creation of Adam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the earth as a dwelling place for all jinns. They were the first leaders of this dunya, the first protectors of this dunya, and they worshipped Allah very much. They were very pious, and Allah was very pleased with them. And the angels, they became amazed of this great worship of the jinns, because the angels were not like jinns. They didn't have free will. The angels were created for the sole purpose of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when they saw the jinns, who had a choice to choose, and they were still worshipping Allah, they were amazed by this. So they asked Allah, "Can you raise some of them up with us so we can learn from them?" Allah said, "No problem." So he went to the best among the jinn at this time, which was Iblis. So Allah raised Iblis among the angels, and he worshipped in the heavens and he worshipped in the earth, to the extent that there was no space in the heavens and in the earth left, but Iblis had gone there and he had worshipped Allah. Now over a period of time, the jinns started disobeying, and they started getting into clan wars, fighting with one another over differences among themselves. And they slay one another, and many of them stopped worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and started worshipping other things. They started following their own desires, and the earth began to complain of them to the Lord. "O my Lord, have you created me that I should be peopled by disobedient folk?" The Lord answered, "O earth, be patient. I shall send prophets among them to lead them back to the straight path." Until that time, no prophets had appeared among the jinn. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent over 800 prophets and messengers to the jinn. Every single one of them they slew. Finally, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells Iblis, "I want you to go back to the earth, and I want you to fight the disbelieving jinns." So Iblis, with 70,000 angels, went and fought with the disbelieving jinns, and he annihilated them. He wiped them out. Hassan al-Basri, rahimahullah, said, Iblis worshipped above the 7 heavens for more than 70,000 years, until he was raised to the station of Ridwan. Iblis was the guardian of paradise for 1,000 years. Once, he read an inscription on the gates of paradise. "There is a servant among the most highly favored servants of the Almighty Lord, and for a long time he will be obedient and serve his Lord well. There will come a day, however, on which he will oppose his Lord and disobey, and he will be driven from his gates and be cursed." Iblis wondered at this prediction. How can that be? He said to himself, "The closest servants to the Lord should grow disobedient to the Lord of the worlds and be driven from his holy nearness? O Lord," he pleaded, "give me permission to curse that rebellious one, whoever he may be." The Lord gave him permission, and Iblis showered curses upon that future sinner for 1,000 years, knowing not that it was to be himself. Suddenly, Allah reveals to the angels, and he says, "And remember, when your Lord said to the angels, 'Indeed, I will make upon the earth a successive authority,' they said, 'Will you place therein those who will make mischief therein and shed blood? While we glorify you with praises and thanks and sanctify you.' Allah said, 'I know that which you do not know.'" Now when Allah said that, Iblis got really happy. Allah's going to now make a Khalifa, perhaps from the jinn, but Allah's decision wasn't that He's going to make a Khalifa or a vicegerent from the jinns. Allah was going to create this new creation. This shocked Iblis. And so Allah creates Adam. The angels would come and see this amazing creation. According to Ibn Kathir, Allah shaped Adam into a human being, but he remained a figure of clay for 40 years. The angels went past him. They were seized with fear by what they saw, and Iblis felt fear most. It didn't look too impressive to him. It was made of clay, dark. He tapped it and he kicked it, and it made a ringing sound, and he was able to flow through it. He found that Adam was hollow, so he thought it was a weak creature. As time went, Allah left the body of Adam, and every time Iblis looked at it, he felt fear of it. But at the same time, he's trying to beat his fear, saying, I'm better than you. You're not going to be better than me. Allah left him there until that jealousy developed more and more and more. And now it turned into proudness, arrogance. And then he said, if I am given influence over you, I will guide you astray. And if you are given influence over me, I would disobey you. Iblis is our enemy from day one. Adam is not even alive yet. It's just a body. And Iblis says, if you are given influence over me, I am going to disobey you. When the time drew near to breathe the soul into Adam, as Allah decreed, He commanded the angels, prostrate before Adam. So they prostrated, except for Iblis. He refused and was arrogant and became of the disbelievers. Allah said, what prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you? Iblis said, I am better than him. You created me from fire and created him from clay. Allah said, O Iblis, what is the matter with you, that you are not with those who prostrate? He, Iblis, said, never would I prostrate to a human whom you created out of clay, from an altered black mud. He, Iblis, said, should I prostrate to one you created from clay? Allah said, descend from paradise, for it is not for you to be arrogant therein. So get out. Indeed, you are of the disgraced one. Iblis said, do you see this one, whom you have honored above me? If you delay me until the day of resurrection, I will surely destroy his descendants except for a few. Allah said, so indeed, you are of those reprieved. So Iblis argued that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had misled him. Instead of acknowledging his own fault, he blamed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and promised to mislead the human being using various attractions of this earth. He swore that he will misguide the human beings and lead them to Jahannam with him. Iblis said, my Lord, because you have put me in error, I will surely make disobedience attractive to them on earth, and I will mislead them all. He declares war on human beings. Iblis said, because you have put me in error, I will surely sit and wait for them on your straight path. Then I will come to them from before them and from behind them, and on their right and on their left, and you will not find most of them grateful to you. Adam, peace be upon him, and Hawa were admitted to paradise, and there they lived the dreams of all human beings. Allah permitted them to approach and enjoy everything except one tree. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded them not to even approach or go near that particular tree. But do not come near this tree, or you both will be of the wrongdoers. Adam, peace be upon him, and Hawa knew that they were forbidden to eat the fruit of that tree. Adam, peace be upon him, was, however, a human being, and mankind lacked sufficient control over their minds and desires. Mankind also has the tendency to forget. The feelings inside the hearts change, and perseverance, willpower go up and down. Iblis summoned all the envy within him and took advantage of Adam's humanity to exploit him. He started to whisper to him day after day, shall I guide you to the tree of immortality and the eternal kingdom? Iblis further gave reliance to them, mentioning that he is a well-wisher or trusted advisor to them. Your Lord did not forbid you this tree, save you should become angels or become of the immortals. Verily, I am one of the sincere well-wishers for you both. Adam, peace be upon him, asked himself, what will happen if I eat from this tree? It might truly be the tree of immortality. His dream was to live forever in the pure sanctity of paradise. Iblis took a long period of time to be able to convince them, and at last, they forgot that Allah had warned them about Iblis and mentioned them that he was their sworn enemy. Adam alayhi salam might have also forgotten the fact that he took an oath not to eat from the tree. Indeed, we made a covenant with Adam before, but he forgot, and we found on his part no firm willpower. So despite of Allah's prohibitions, they both got near that forbidden tree and ate from it.